found that night.
God! Holy cow!
That's a horrible thing.
I don't want to hurt
What the hell are you doing outside at that time of night? It doesn't make any sense, do you understand?
I'm an outdoorsy person.
You're not an outdoorsy person. You're a sit in front of the TV kind of guy.
This is the moment a grandmother discovers this teen's evil secret.
I'm up here in Reddick. I'm at a house. A 91-year-old lady calls in saying she was just raped.
The guy sounded Hispanic and he was telling her to be still and penetrated her with his fingers. And she said that he felt like he was not erect.
Let me be a little bit more specific. Your DNA was on her underwear.
What?
And this is the moment he realizes the cops know everything.
Randy, I want you to think real long. I want to know why this happened.
This case is about a child who became what every parent fears. On June 9, 2024, in Reddick, a 91-year-old woman who should have been living her final years in peace became the victim of one of the most disturbing crimes imaginable. I know it seems exaggerated, but I, in my very right mind, feel that strongly.
Man, you doing all right? You need anything? All right, Jesse, I'm Ryan, and we're going to come in here and talk to you just a little bit, okay? We're waiting for your mom to get over here, just so we can all be here and talk and figure out what's going on, all right? Okay. You sure you don't want water or anything? Okay. If you need something, just give this door a little knock, all right? Okay.
The detectives had already zeroed in on him and brought him for questioning. So here's Jesse Stone. He also goes by Randy John, which is what his grandma, Michelle Richter, calls him. He's just 14, and he's sitting in what the detectives call the soft room. Here, you can see couch, toys, bright warm colors, basically a kid-friendly daycare instead of an interrogation room. And honestly, the whole contrast between the room and what he's accused of is pretty unsettling.
Jesse, I'm going to ask you some questions that might seem a little bit weird, but this is just to help me understand and to make sure that I'm on the same page as you. So, do you understand the difference between a truth and a lie?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me what the truth means to you.
The truth is what actually happened.
Okay. And what's a lie mean?
Something that's made up or not true.
Do you remember that night? So when I showed you that video of you walking, so that would have been late Saturday night.
Yes.
Do you remember everything that you did that night?
Yeah, I couldn't go to sleep, so I got up and I headed down the road to watch the cars that are coming from the concert. I've watched them, the cars looking for modified vehicles for a while, and then I went walking across the street for, I'm guessing, an hour before I came back to my house.
But the whole process of bringing Jesse in this room was very elaborate because everyone thought a rapist was on a loose, and I am sure no one knew that they were going to find a 14-year-old responsible for all this.
Okay, I'm up here in Reddick. I'm at a house. A 91-year-old lady calls in saying she was just raped. We get on scene. She's beat up really bad.
When the officers arrived at the hospital, they found the victim lying on her back, wearing a cervical collar. Her left forearm was bandaged, while her right upper arm had extensive red and purple bruising. The right side of her face was noticeably swollen, with visible red and purple marks extending across her cheek and the bridge of her nose. There was dried and fresh blood coating her bottom lip, forehead, right cheek, and the bridge of her nose.
But we'll just get some tape. We'll lock down the house. Once she gets out, we'll wrap it up. Okay. It's our crime scene. I got evidence coming, major crimes coming. K9's coming, one's coming.
Who do you want to go with her to the hospital?
I don't care, as long as someone goes. I mean, if you talk to her, that's fine. Being that it's a female, maybe Alyssa can go a little bit more comfortable.
That lady's moved out of the way, right?
The one that was up there. With the phone?
Yeah.
Hey, have the neighbor with the phone step out of our way.
sorry, I didn't know evidence was coming out. I gave Christian the dress and the underpants, 2 separate bags.
That's fine.
There's no, anywhere, like when you walk around the house, no evidence of like her falling or anything, so everything she's saying is adding up. Everything is on her bed. Blood everywhere on her bed.
The neighbor said that only Hispanics that she knows is right across this road right here on this side.
Right now, the officers are asking the neighbors if they saw or heard something that would be useful to them.
Not obviously. Hey, did you see anybody run through here or anything?
Not to my yard, but then again, I went in the house at 9:30 to eat dinner.
Okay.
And came back out with my son and said he saw all the cars come out here.
Okay.
So I was sitting there for a minute.
Your son live here too?
Huh?
Your son live here too?
Yeah, my son lives here. My daughter and son-in-law are down here from West Virginia on vacation.
Okay.
There was a car earlier that came up there, like when it's still daylight out there, but I think that was one of her friends.
Okay. I think
it looked familiar, like I've seen the car before.
Okay.
But nobody's been in my yard because I got dogs out and stuff.
Right. Okay.
She okay?
I hope.
I mean, I've known this lady since I was 10 years old.
Okay. I mean, it appears somebody was over there messing with the house, so.
That lady's daughters wanted her to move so many times out of here, too. She kept saying no, no, no.
Jesse had visited the victim earlier, and the sad part is that when detectives later asked her about him, she called him a good boy and counted him among her friends from the neighborhood. Back in the interrogation room, they're circling back and questioning Jesse and Randy about his first visit to her house that evening.
Where's she at? On the front porch, sitting in her rocking chair in front of the door.
Okay, gotcha. So what was the last time, like, before then, when you had seen her, or, I guess, talked with her, like, kind of like you did that day?
The last time I'd seen her before that was probably about, I want to say a week and a half before. She was driving down the road from, like, church or something.
Oh, okay.
And she just stopped and said hi real quick. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, do you remember the last time, like, my understanding when we spoke the first time, and correct me if I got this wrong, that you, when you were younger, you used to go over and talk with her quite a bit.
Yeah, I'd go over, talk, help her.
Never asked for your help to do those types of, like, household chores, so, like, laundry or whatever. Okay.
No, I've helped with the laundry machine, but not to do laundry.
Not like, you've never done her laundry for her, or bed sheets or anything like that?
No.
You've never, like, taken a nap or slept in any of her bedrooms or anything like that?
No.
Okay. Do you remember if you've ever been in any of those bedrooms?
No.
No?
No. I've never been in any room other than the living room, kitchen, the bathroom.
Okay. Well, Randy Dunn, I think you probably know that I wouldn't ask that question unless I had a reason to.
Okay.
So, I'm just going to be honest with you because, I mean, I feel like you've been mostly honest with me. And I know your mom's been honest with me. Is it okay if I call you his mom?
Yeah.
Guardian? Okay, I don't mean to.
It's okay, yeah.
But when I came over to you on,
Yeah.
I think that was Sunday, and I was asking you about your clothes and the video and such, and I explained that I wanted to get your DNA because I knew that you had been over there before because you mentioned, like you told us today, that you had talked with her. So I knew that you're, at the very least, there would be evidence of you being in the porch.
Yeah.
Right? So I went and met with your mom, and you guys signed a consent form, and we got your DNA.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So we sent your DNA and the sex kit up to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, who does the testing stuff for stuff like that.
Okay.
Okay. Is there any reason at all that your DNA would be on her clothes?
Yeah, we when I said goodbye to her, we hugged, like a slight hug.
Okay.
That's
Let me be a little bit more specific. Your DNA was on her underwear.
What?
This is the exact moment he realizes the cops have discovered his evil secret.
And so I want you to really use this time here to be honest with me about what happened that night, because I think that we know what happened, and I think that your mom knows what happened because she also wrote down a list of times that you went in and out of the house that night, to include the time that the call came in. And I think you probably know that you wouldn't be in here unless we had a good reason to put you in.
I don't see. What?
It's not about C rating, John. It's truth.
Yeah, truth. It's impossible for my DNA to be on her underwear.
That's what we like to think too, brother, but that stuff doesn't lie, that stuff doesn't get made up. Sometimes the truth can be hard. You seem like a really good guy, man. You seem like you got a good head on your shoulders, you make connections with people that need help, you go out there and you help other people. And there's people out there sometimes that make mistakes.
I'm going to come over here and I want to make sure.
That doesn't make you a bad person for making a mistake.
You know how the good cop, bad cop routine is super common in interrogation rooms. In this case, though, I really liked how the detectives handled it. The male detective plays the good cop, while the female detective takes on the bad cop role, and that actually serves two really interesting purposes. First, the crime here was against a woman, and having a woman in control of the room, firm, assertive, making him answer, creates this quiet but powerful balance. It's like the power he tried to take from a woman is now being taken back. I wouldn't say it's comforting because nothing about the case really is, but it does feel right in a way. And second, the male detective being the good cop works psychologically too. It almost builds a male-to-male rapport, which makes the boy feel safer opening up.
Well, we just need to understand, like, who is Randy John, man? Because I don't...
Holy cow.
And we don't think that that was the intention. But we need to understand what happened, man.
Randy, I want to be real clear with you. We know what happened. What I want to hear from your own words, everything that went on that night.
God. Holy cow.
I want to know why this happened.
Randy, help us understand, man.
Randy, look at me for a second. You did this the exact same thing when I asked you about you walking down the road or jogging down the road at 11 o'clock. And you did the whole, I don't remember, and I was like, and you finally admitted to it. And I think this is the exact same thing. I know what happened. And it's only going to help you for you to be honest with me about what happened. Because like I said, we know what happened because we have your DNA at the crime scene.
You might think Jesse was particularly randy and had some sexual feelings towards the victim, but how bizarre is the fact that people who engage in sexual exploitation don't care about being attracted to the victim. All they care about is how easy the process is going to be. And that is disgusting and also terrifying. It seems like no one is safe, irrespective of the age or even gender. This kind of emotional coldness psychologists describe as callous unemotional traits, which are early markers of psychopathy in adolescence. When police searched his belongings, they found disturbing writings and internet searches that hinted at obsession with violent sexual acts. It's called precocious psychopathy, which is an early exhibition of traits like manipulation, deceit, and sadism before adulthood.
Like you said, it's not like we're talking about a sweater that it was found on. It's in this elderly woman's underwear. What are you thinking, man? We're putting everything out here and you're kind of just looking at all this, man. I know it might be a shock, but what are you thinking?
I'm overly confused.
What are you confused about?
I wasn't even near her house. I was across the street.
A whole hour. You were gone.
Yeah?
He was gone for an hour, and the victim described that everything was over in 15 minutes. We can only assume that he was planning to break into her house and find the right time to attack her during the remaining time. And the biggest surprise is that nobody saw him or heard her.
I was out in the back working in my shop. I guess when all this was going down, I never heard nobody yell or anything. That's what was weird.
During the night?
Yeah, last night. I didn't come in till 9:30. Came back outside, and then my son said all these lights going up the road. That's when I came back out and talked to you.
Did the deputies talk to you last night?
Well, I gave them my name and stuff. Yeah, they just said, "Did you see anything?" I said, "No, I didn't see nothing." And they can't come through my yard because them two are out.
Sure.
Unless they jump fences. So.
Okay.
I don't know if you want to have a couple minutes to talk with your son. Randy, I want you to think real long and hard about everything that happened. And I want to do this, listen, more than I want to have the truth from you about what happened, because I know that you know what happened, I want to do this for her. If she is as an amazing of a person as you say she is, and I believe you because I've talked with her, getting all of this out in the open for her is what matters.
She deserves the truth to be told, and you know it. Personally, I can't believe that this is a horrible thing, Randy John. That's a horrible thing.
I'm glad to see that at least her grandmother is doing the right thing. Legally, it might not be the best move for him, but morally and ethically, he needs to own up to this.
I don't even have the ability to do that. Well, it's hard for me to believe, too. It's really hard for me to believe, too, that you would do a thing like this. I didn't. But how many times have you been caught in lies? I know. And this is the whole reason why you're on restriction. It's because you're not telling the truth about things. If this woman deserves to have the truth. She deserves it, and you know that. What? Don't say why's, Randy John, because why doesn't exist here. I wasn't at her house. Randy John, it's across the street. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her face. That's I don't even think like that. I've never seen you hurt anybody, but I don't want to hurt anyone. What the hell are you doing outside at that time of night? It doesn't make any sense. You understand? Randy John, it doesn't make any sense. There's a million different things you can do. Being outside where you don't belong, and you know you don't belong out there. I'm sorry, but I'm an outdoorsy person. You're not an outdoorsy person. You're a sit in front of the TV kind of guy. Well, I don't have TV. I'm outside. Well, I don't know. I hope and pray you did not do this to this woman. Didn't. I hope and pray. I hope and pray you did not do this. Because this is horrific. This is a human being. And she deserves justice. She does. If this would have happened to your sister, what would you do? Murder whoever did. If you know anything about this, Randy John, for her at least, if you care about her, tell the truth. Tell the truth. You know, we've been down that road before where you've been lying about something and you swear up and Randy John, you've lied about stuff before.
It's also refreshing to see she's not buying his BS emotional drama and simply calling him out for his lies. Since most of the details are redacted, we can only know what exactly he tried to do that night through this bodycam clip.
So she saw a shadow approaching her, and all of a sudden he just started, like, wailing on her. She's significantly injured in her face and got a big gash on her arm. She's 91 years old. So she says that the guy sounded Hispanic, and he was telling her to be still and penetrated her with his fingers, and she said that he felt like he was not erect, but maybe trying to be. She said it lasted about 15,
That's hard?
Yeah.
Yeah, she says he never took off his pants.
She said he never took off his pants, and it lasted about 15-20 minutes, and he left about 5 to 10 minutes prior to us going 97.
The detectives are back into the room.
So I'm talking to your mom, and she said that, I mean, you're 14, right? I think every 14-year-old's had some thoughts about what a woman's like and things like that. And I heard that you've been kind of exploring some nudity and pornography. Is that what's going on, man? The thing is, Grandma's got no reason to lie to me, and you have no reason to lie to me about that either. That's totally normal and totally fine. So is that something I heard you taking Grandpa's phone and taking a look at that?
No, I don't do it on Grandpa's phone. I haven't been able to do it since I had my computer, because she takes everything away.
Yeah. Well, is it true that you were looking at some of that stuff? Like I said, it's totally normal, man. Okay. And like I said, and I think like Detective Hardigan said, it's totally normal to want to find out about these things, especially for someone it seems like you really truly cared about this woman.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you just wanted to figure out what was what, man.
What it was like.
You remember the Gavin Ramsey case. He was another teenage boy who, at around 17, attacked an elderly woman who was about 98 years old. There's actually a lot of similarity between that case and this one. Both of them tried to act like nothing had happened at first, like they had no idea what anyone was talking about. Then as things went on, they both started crying, saying things like, "I didn't do it," or "I don't know why they think it's me," trying to distance themselves from what they'd done. And what's even more interesting is how they behaved once the person accompanying them in the interrogation room left. In Gavin's case, it was his mom, and in Jesse's case, it was his grandmother. The moment those figures left the room, both boys opened up completely. There was hardly any genuine emotion or regret. It's unsettling to watch because you can see how quickly that switch happens. So, there's a strange parallel between these two cases, not just in what they did, but in how they tried to manage the situation.
Maybe you went into there, you didn't expect her to be awake. And so you freaked out. And you panicked. Because that's what it looks like. Is that this was oh shit. And then maybe you just laughed around not expecting her to, maybe you just wanted to knock her out. You didn't think it would hurt her this bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got out of there.
Because what we're trying to figure out, Randy John, is like Detective Hardigan said, like we're pretty certain of what happened. What we're trying to figure out is Randy John the kind of guy that breaks into people's houses with axes and chops them up into pieces and leaves them and murders them? Or did Randy John just make a mistake? Did he go into a house and expect this 91-year-old woman to be sleeping and maybe figure out something about life, and then things just went awry? Because the thing is, people panic, man. And people do things that they don't mean and they don't want to do when they panic.
Randy John, I feel like you probably wish that this had never happened. Like, I honestly still believe that you never really intended to hurt. Because you care about her.
Yeah, I don't intend to hurt anyone.
Sure. So, how old were you when you started watching the porn videos?
My friend showed them to me when I was 10.
10. So you've been watching them since you were 10?
Off and on, yeah.
Okay. How often do you think you were watching them before you got put on restriction?
Once or twice a week.
Okay. And what kind of stuff were you watching? Looking at pictures? Were you watching videos?
A mix of both.
A mix of both? Okay. And what site do you normally use?
The X.
XNX. And that's all it's called? You just put that into Google, XX?
Yeah, that was the website my friend showed me.
So, yeah, now they're discussing favorite sites and whatnot, and that guy couldn't look less bothered about the victim. Finally, Jesse was charged with burglary of a dwelling with battery, as well as sexual battery. During his trial, his attorney said that he had a difficult childhood and suffers from depression and ADHD. Despite that, he was sentenced to 25 years in prison, followed by 30 years of sex offender probation. He is also required to register as a sex offender and enroll in anger management classes.